Well, you saw a lot of red at the Oscars. That's because the American Heart Association Go Red for Women campaign won the support of some of Hollywood's biggest stars. And at the Academy Awards, many actresses wore red to bring awareness to women and heart disease. Experts say cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of American women, exceeding the next 7 causes of death combined, including cancer, and the threat increases with age. That's an amazing statistic. We have Dr. Ben Beckler here. He is the Chief Scientific Officer and Vice Chairman for the Minneapolis-based Eniva Corporation. It's nice to have you here.
Well, thank you, Belinda. Nice to be here this morning.
10 years almost for Eniva, I was noticing.
That's correct. 10 years here in the Minneapolis area. Very exciting.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We're going to talk about heart health. We have lots of good things to show people that how they can fix that or at least work on that. But let's talk about the fact that women just are not getting the exams that they need, or the bottom line is the symptoms are not typical. You don't have like the left arm going numb or the symptoms you hear about when it comes to men and heart disease.
Absolutely. #1, as you mentioned, cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer for women, 500,000 women per year. And when we think about those signs and symptoms, classical symptoms, we think about the substernal crushing chest pain, the left arm, the jaw, like you mentioned, but some not so traditionally known symptoms for women, we think about nausea, heartburn, a toothache, a backache that just seems to come and go. And when we take those symptoms in consideration with someone's past medical history and family history, that can start to make us start thinking about a cardiovascular background or etiology for those symptoms.
And then you could get, of course, checked, and then you could find out if you do have heart disease.
Absolutely. Women and everyone need to be going in for regular checkups, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood glucose, screening for diabetes. All of these things together combine really for a very strong preventive attitudes to get out there and really stomp out heart disease.
And we talk about exercise. We're going to run through a bunch of things that the doctor has brought to mind today that when it comes to trying to stay heart healthy. First, of course, diet and use supplements. We're going to show you some diet things in just a moment. Manage and maintain your weight. Engage in 20 to 30 minutes of physical activity every day. That just could be gardening or walking. It doesn't need to be that 10-mile run.
Yep.
And also, stop smoking.
Absolutely. Stomp out smoking, because that's probably the #1 thing people can do if they're smoking. Stop smoking. #1 thing you can do for your heart if you're smoking.
You heard a lot of news about this week, getting adequate sleep. We're talking over 8 hours if possible. Relaxation and stress-reducing activities also help. And finally, getting that regular checkup, including cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar, which you mentioned.
Absolutely.
So here are some things that you brought for just adding those to your diet that will help you. Why don't you run through a few of these?
So, a couple different things. #1, we think about blood sugar. New research coming out on cinnamon. Cinnamon helps the body to control blood sugar. Try to incorporate it into your diet. Great spice. You know, at one point in history, spices were as or more valuable than gold. So cinnamon, blood sugar control. Blood pressure, let's try to increase potassium in our diet. We can do that through celery. We can do that through bananas. We move over to the next plate here. All right, we know fruits and vegetables. What are some super fruits? We think about blueberries, our red grapes, and of course oranges, strawberries to top it off for a nice, delicious treat.
And we heard red. Red is good when it comes to red dresses, but it's also great when it comes to food.
Think of the heart. Tomatoes are wonderful. We think about our peppers. We think about radishes. Just anything really with pigments within them. The pigments in fruits and vegetables that give them their color, good for the body. Secret little tip here, beans. Incorporate beans into your diet. Here are some kidney beans. These, again, work to help control blood sugar, average down that glycemic index.
People love the fact that garlic is good because people love garlic. So what does garlic do for us?
Garlic is great for cholesterol. Help the body bring down cholesterol control. So incorporate garlic. If you can, fresh garlic, do it yourself.
And all these nuts?
Nuts are wonderful sources for omega-3 essential fatty acids. We hear more and more about those every single day. We think about some different nuts here. #1, we have some almonds, we have some walnuts, we have some flax and peanuts. My favorite here is the walnut. Walnut, very high in omega-3 essential fatty acids and safe for teeth. If you're an older individual, you have some dental work and need a crown, don't go for the almond, go for the walnut. Easier on the teeth, high in omega-3 essential fatty acids.
You bring a little red wine. A lot of people hear about red wine, but you said the timing on the red wine is essential.
With the meal. #1, don't overdo it. 1 to 2 glasses. And secondly, for the greatest cardiovascular benefit, take it with your meal at the time, for example, of supper.
Okay, with the meal, and we have fish. Of course, a lot of people hear about the fish as well when it comes to omega.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we have our salmon, we have our sardine, our herring, and our trout. Really go for that salmon. I prefer Alaskan. We have Alaskan, Atlantic. I prefer the Alaskan salmon.
Okay, and we have a lot of other things too we didn't even get a chance to get to, but go ahead. You know, you mentioned just if you're going to have a pizza once in a while, everyone has to have it once in a while.
Well,
you said a great tip.
One of my favorite phrases, detoxify. Here we go. Detoxify your pizza. Pizza's definitely not on the cardiovascular healthy list, but if you're going to have pizza, we know it all sneaks into our diet every now and then. Take a paper towel, go on top, blot it, get those trans fats and hydrogenated oils off there. Stop poisoning your body, okay?
And the bottom line is if you can't get everything from these, or you're not able to get all these in your diet, you can, of course, add supplements, and that's what Eniva does. They have lots of great supplements out there, and we're going to give a few of these away.
And we brought a bunch to give away to the folks.
That's nice. Thanks, Ben. We really appreciate it. We want to let people know, once again, how to get more information about Eniva and all of this information and get some supplements that could help you along the path of being heart healthy. The phone number is 1-888-521. Oh, I missed it. I got to go back and get my scripture real quick. But we also want to let you know that they are giving away Heart Healthy Packs. The first or 11th caller, and our number is 651-989-KARE or 1-888-546-1111 if you want to win that packet. And all the information, again, is on KARE11.com. Just go to the Saturday page, and you can find out more about Eniva. And we'll be right back.